Hello and welcome to another episode of Turjo Talks. I'm your host, Turjo. Joining us today is Miller Chalk, President and CEO of Inglett and Stubbs, an electrical construction company that's built quite a reputation over the past 50 years. Under Miller's leadership, the company has consistently ranked in the top 50 electrical contractors in the United States, according to EC&M magazine, and they have held a spot in the top 30 since '05. Miller was recently named 2025 Southeast finalist for EY Entrepreneur of the Year. Congratulations. I was named that in 2022. Yes, cool, man. Which recognizes business leaders who are transforming industries and disrupting markets. The award now is in its 40th year and is considered one of the most prestigious honors for entrepreneurs. Miller leads a team of technicians, engineers, and project managers who have helped establish Inglett and Stubbs as a significant player in the electrical construction world across the country. Miller Chalk, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Turjo. It's good to be here.
So that's a lot, man. How do you get into this? How does one just step up and get into this?
I didn't know what I was getting into, and I don't know that I could have written the path to get here. I was studying electrical engineering at Auburn, getting a degree, and I figured out a lot of things that I didn't want to do with that.
Right.
And got introduced by my now father-in-law to a friend of his who was a project manager for the company. It was at a football game.
Uh-huh. At Auburn?
Fall of 2003.
Mm-hmm.
So brought me in for an internship in 2004.
Right.
And then I graduated that fall. And they brought me back in January. So started out as an assistant project manager, and more or less I just keeping my head down doing my job, and next thing I know I'm here. So
it's fascinating. So what made you want to be an engineer in life? Were you always that type, that mentality?
Yeah, my mom's father was a mechanical engineer. She pegged me when I was 2 or 3 as engineer. So went to Auburn with that goal in mind. Didn't know exactly which discipline I'd end up in, but fell into electrical. And
seemed like you picked a good one.
Yeah, it's worked out well.
And are you from Alabama or?
No, I was born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Okay.
And then my dad got transferred to Atlanta.
Okay.
When I was 10, so grew up in the Atlanta area.
And what made you choose Auburn?
I had some good friends that went to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And between the downtown life and the, how hard that school is,
right.
I thought that wasn't the right fit for me.
Right.
So started looking elsewhere. And at that point, Auburn was basically a postcard application. So sent something into my junior year and got accepted, and then wasn't highly motivated to reach out to a bunch of other places. So I did apply, get accepted a few others, but it worked out. That was
a great
right
school,
spot,
by the way.
I don't regret any of it.
So. Oh yeah, great school. Great party school too at the same time. Yeah, I'm sure you had a few stories from there.
There's a lot of people having a good time down there. We had some good football years too. The year I graduated, Auburn went 15-0. Got left out of the national championship game, but had a good fun season to finish up.
That's funny. One of my neighbors, he won the national title at Auburn with Cam that year.
Okay.
Yeah, Joshua Bynes, and he's had a 12, 13-year career in the NFL too.
Yeah.
And he loves that school. I mean, they go hard.
Yeah, that was a fun year.
Yeah, every time Auburn plays, you could just hear in the neighborhood just rumbling, just this guy's just going crazy. So, from college, you get this intern position or job at Inglett Stubbs, and then you've been there since then. So that's all your.
Yeah, I mean they brought me back after that following January, and I've been there since January 5th of 2005 or something like that.
Right, that's amazing. So all your adult life, you've been really.
Yeah, I'm the one line item on the resume guy after 20 something years.
That's incredible, and you don't find that anymore, right?
No.
We look at resumes here all the time, and it's like 3 months there, 7 months there. Like 2 or 3 years feels like a long time, especially this current generation and people hopping from one place to another. So, what made you stay, and what drives you, to be a part of this company and the legacy?
Yeah, so I mean, part of what what made me stay is I just love the work.
Yeah.
I mean, my degree meant something, but I wasn't using a lot of it.
Right.
I had to get out, meet people, meet with customers,
Right.
and more or less, I wasn't thinking about it as an entrepreneurship at the time, but more or less, that's what it was.
Right.
I was, building my own customer base, putting work in, doing jobs. I just had an army of highly skilled, really smart people behind me supporting me. So, was able to just keep doing my thing. And there's times in the construction world where I question the career, and things can be tough, and deadlines are hard, and you're trying to coordinate a bunch of people and a bunch of things. But I realized early on, if I was going to be in this business, there wasn't anywhere else I wanted to be than Inglett Stubbs, with the reputation and the values and the people we have there.
I mean, I think I read 54 years.
Actually, it started in 1954. So
1954. Okay, sorry.
71 years now. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So what does Inglett Stubbs do? What do you guys do? What do you guys sell? What's the service there?
Yeah, so we're an electrical subcontractor.
Okay.
A lot of new construction, but also maintenance and renovations and whatnot. We focus on critical and complex projects. So a lot of data centers and hospitals.
Okay.
Done all the sports facilities in Atlanta.
Okay.
So bigger projects with a fast-paced schedule.
Got it.
A need for quality installation.
Right. And how many employees are human?
We're running about 1,150 electricians right now.
Wow.
Got about around 130 in the office.
Wow, that's a lot.
Supporting that, and the field group fluctuates up and down, but we're going to be headed back up soon. So you can be focused on recruiting and bringing some more good talent.
That's amazing. So, and your headquarters out of where?
It's a Mableton address. It's
Mableton address.
It's very corner of Mableton. So Smyrna, Atlanta, Vinings kind of area.
Got it. So give me your, how do you manage all these people? That's a lot of heads to manage.
Yeah, I've got a great team.
Yeah.
So, I've got a group of 5 of us that are really the senior leadership focused on those things, and everybody's doing a better job than I could do in their roles. So we're all rowing in the same direction, and a lot of it's just remove barriers and let people do what they're good at.
Yeah, it's funny. Any great leaders that I speak to and fortunate enough to have on the show, or just in general, they always compliment their team. It's team. It's never them. And the ones that say it's all I never make it anywhere, huh? That's the common trait I see.
Well, that's definitely true in my case. They're carrying the weight. They're doing what they need to do, and they make it easy for me.
How do you keep your team and the company motivated? As you said, construction it's highs and lows. There's no in between.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different ways, but one thing, we're building great projects that matter to people. Okay. I mean, when I take my kid to the hospital for a surgery, it was one of my first projects. So we got people having babies in hospitals that they worked on, and that the company was a part of. You go to a Braves game, the company was involved in building the stadium.
Wow.
So it's a lot of it's project based, where we're getting to build things that are meaningful to people, and a lot of people don't understand exactly what we do, but they can see the results, and that's a lot of fun for our people.
I guess it's one of those jobs where people don't really know or appreciate what you do until the power goes out or something bad happens. You're like, oh, you get all the negative pointers, never the credit for it.
Right. Yeah. I get texts from people I hadn't talked to in 5 years when the Braves had a lighting issues. What'd you do?
Yeah. Like, I never got a compliment. Like, whatever the last 5 years that it ran smooth. I get the call today. So what's your everyday life like? What do you do? Give me an average day of the CEO and president of Inglett Stubbs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the office. We're generally in the office early. Our guys are starting in the field. A lot of them at 6 a.m. Some of them earlier. We're in facilities 24/7 also, but the guys start early, so we're generally in the office early. And it's just working with the team, working on goals, fixing problems, trying to figure out where we're headed. And a quote a mentor of mine has is don't predict, position. So it's trying to get us in a position where we're going to be successful down the road. And then it's, day-to-day problems come up, and I'm trying to remove obstacles and let my team do what they're best at. And,
that's awesome.
There's client relationships. There's
and is that what you deal with most, client relationship, I would assume?
I wouldn't say mostly. I'm focused on working on improving the business. So my team's more out there with the relationships with those folks.
Got it.
But there are times I get the calls too and jump in. But yeah, it's trying to fix any issues and build a better future.
Right. How many projects or jobs do you have at any given time? I mean, with 1,100 some folks, I mean, that's a lot of projects, I'm assuming.
Yes. We're somewhere over 100 projects.
At any given time?
Yes.
Wow.
So those go from, I think our largest job right now, we've got about 225 electricians on. And then some of those in the 100 plus project list, there's probably nobody on today. There'll be two guys back there next week or whatever it is. So it's a full range from small to extreme.
Right. Well, what is the average timeline of these projects here? Because I'm sure you have some quick ones and.
Yeah. I mean, some of that's, more of a service call type, go fix something or go install something. And some of them are, pushing 3 years.
Wow.
For a full project. And then, we've been building these data centers, and a lot of these are campuses now. So
it's crazy.
We're about to wrap up one that we've been on for 8 years now. So
wow.
It's a wide range of timeline and size.
And I'm sure the electrical work on a data center,
there's a lot
of it. Cannot fail. It cannot fail. Right. So are you guys doing, if I heard right, are you guys doing servicing too then?
We do some service work, but
we're not mainly.
We're not Yellow Page.
No.
If you call us looking for a new microwave receptacle at your house, we're not your guy. But but yeah, we do. A lot of it's repeat customer work. So our goal when we build a project is to never leave. So if they need something in the future, we want them calling us. We hope to be the first one they call when they want to build an addition or a new campus or whatever it is.
How hard or how much do you emphasize on the safety of all this? Because that's a huge deal.
Safety is a huge deal.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and the work we do, construction is by itself dangerous, and then working on electrical is even more dangerous. So it's a huge part of what we do. We're really proud of the team we built there.
Yeah.
And continue to grow in certifications and training. And we jumped in about a year ago into a new piece of business for us, and that's more focused on training and maintenance of facilities. So they used to be recommendations, now they're more requirements of what you have to do to keep up your electrical systems. And I kind of realized that a lot of these people, they're not talking to anybody else. So if we don't train them, if we don't tell them, they're going to be pointing at us if something goes wrong. So we need to do what's right by our customers and make sure they understand. And it's turned into a good piece of business too, where we're out there training people on arc flash safety and the hazards of working on and around electrical work.
It's recurring too.
Yes,
it keeps on keep on doing it.
Yeah. It's nice to find
private equity
recurring revenue piece of the business
in a world where you're project based mostly.
Right.
It's very different. How are you guys coming up with your financial goals? Is that dictated by a board that you guys have? How does that work?
Yeah, it's really me and my team.
Okay.
And we focus more. Really, what we're focused on now is a goal by 2030. We want to be doing 25% of our production work offsite. So prefabrication, modular construction, things we can do to pull work off a construction site, put it in a controlled environment where it's safer, where we can train
more efficient
new people, be more efficient. We're starting to throw some automation into that mix. Just whatever we can do, really at the end of the day, to serve more customers and meet their needs on the projects. There's a huge shortage of electricians in the country. Probably worldwide at this point. And so we're just trying to do everything we can to meet or increase the quality, increase the safety every chance we get, and train, give give more people opportunities to work in the trades.
That makes sense. Anything around robotics and other things that that could be in the mix here with new technology?
Yeah, so we bought a automated robotic conduit bender. So you take a 4-inch pipe, basically a 10-foot stick of steel, put it in this machine, and it takes what we're drawing in Revit 3D model and bend the conduit to match.
Wow.
So we committed to that last summer, got the tool late November, really went into production in December.
Right.
And now we've bent somewhere over 6,000 pieces of conduit in that machine.
That's amazing.
Which, equates to basically 4 electricians a year worth of time.
Right.
So we got a team there now getting a second machine up and running. Same machine, but we've got multiple different sizes conduit we're bending. So it made a lot of sense, both for not having to change out dies on the machine, and also just realization that once you get one of these things, you're committed. And if you've got an issue and it goes down, we can't there's no path back. Yeah. So we bought a second one that's getting up and running this week, and moving into other opportunities, really automate, and with that bring up the quality and the safety.
How do you do that? So if you have a machine like this, or a robotic system that replaces, say, 4 humans now, how long is that time for you to get comfortable saying that, what, I'm not going to replace those 4 right now. I need time to.
Well, I mean, we're not taking people's jobs because we've got so much opportunity.
Right.
So we were running. We track weekly how many people short we are overall.
Right.
And we can run, close to 10% short on manpower and make it up with overtime, more or less. But we're trying not to do that.
Yeah.
Now but it's healthy for the business to always be somewhat undermanned.
Yeah.
So we're a few people short, but we're not taking anybody's jobs. We're just
getting more jobs,
serving more customers,
yeah.
Right? Because the amount of work in town right now, we're turning down more than we take.
Yeah. So. And are you guys mostly in the Southeast, or is this national?
We are mostly all in the Atlanta area.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've done work all over the place. We have a sister company that's does international work.
Okay.
We've got some people in South Dakota that maintain a data center that they've got a sister campus up here in Alpharetta. So,
cool.
We've been all over the place, but in the past couple of years, talking with my team in our annual planning, we had a target project in Raleigh. We thought that was a good opportunity to go up there and open an office in a good market, and some things fell apart on that deal. And this past year, we sat down and said, we need to focus on what we've got here. There's so much opportunity in this
Atlanta
area. It doesn't make sense to go somewhere else now. So we do
talk
hope
about construction here. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane what's going on.
Yeah.
There's cranes everywhere here.
Yes.
All around us.
Yeah.
So, and every time there's a crane, you guys are probably present.
We got to be there before the crane, or they can't put the crane in.
You just left. You just had left. So what's the next big step? I mean, you talked about the 2030 goal. What else are you guys, what's in the pipeline for Inglett Stubbs and you?
Yeah, I mean, it's continued growth, serving our customers. I've got working on a real estate project. When you got more people and trying to do more work offsite, you need more space. So trying to figure that out, trying to go through project selection and refine some tools to help us make the best decisions we can on where we go and who we help. And there's customers that they don't call anybody else and haven't called anybody else.
They know you.
We're not going to say no.
Right.
So some of our biggest challenges are figuring out how to get this stuff done. So.
Right. And what are you guys doing? All the men and women on the field, are you subbing any of them out too, or are they all employed by you guys?
Yeah, those 1,150 are employed by us.
Okay.
There is some work we sub out, generally other trade type work.
Right.
A lot of these big projects now, there's not one contractor who can do the whole project.
So big, yeah.
So we're going in. They're bringing us in on the front end, and we're kind of selecting which parts we do and how we break it up, and then they'll bring somebody else in to do some of the other work.
That's amazing. It's amazing. Large projects.
Large projects.
What's one large one you have going on right now?
The data centers are the big ones.
Yeah.
But, we've got.
And how big are those, by the way? I've never been to data centers, so just asking.
They measure them all in megawatts. It's
Okay.
the amount of power they use. But
Yeah.
they're, 250,000 square feet. Maybe some of them are a lot bigger than that.
Wow.
But now they're more splitting them up into smaller buildings on a campus. So we've got a campus we're working on we're building the 4th building down there now. And I think they've got.
Here in Georgia?
Yes. I think they've got maybe 8 more coming. Wow. Started another campus. We're working on the first 3 buildings now. I think they've got plans for 16. So it's,
And how are these things cooled? I'm assuming that you need a lot of cooling power, right?
Yes, that's where a significant amount of the power goes. I mean, we're essentially powering servers and cooling equipment.
Right.
I mean, that's the 2 big things. Servers putting heat out, and then you got to cool it back down.
I'm not well knowledge enough, like I told you, but why wouldn't you do something like that in the north or somewhere cooler? Why?
Well, outside of DC and Virginia was the data center mecca of the world, really.
Okay.
And they're out of power. We're just about to finish a job here. Our team went up to DC to see that company's last project, and they are running the whole thing off natural gas generators because the utility couldn't give them power. So they're out of power up there. Wow. So data centers with the boom, they're going anywhere they can find power.
So it doesn't matter.
And land.
Yeah, we'll just pay for
and they
cooling.
need labor.
Yeah.
So they can't. It's tough to go build one in the middle of nowhere just because you got power, because you got to get people.
You got to get people there. Yeah. South Dakota is not a
right.
ideal place to work, I should say. Yeah. So, what else? What do what's the next step here for you? You personally? What are you thinking?
It's just continuing to build a team.
Yeah.
So, we've got a lot of good people. We've been very successful finding people that are aligned with our values and bringing them on board, and then figuring out where they fit best, what seat on the bus kind of thing.
Right.
And then we've had some people that have been there for a long time that we've been able to shift over to something a little different, or create a role that they can really excel at, and that's where I have a lot of fun.
Right.
Is just watching people
seeing that
excel and win and help the company grow.
Right. What's your biggest challenge that you face?
It's been finding resources, growing the team. So we're a union contractor, so we went 69 years with calling the union hall, and they send us people when we need them.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago that wasn't working very well.
Right.
They didn't have any people.
Right.
So we found a partner on a consultant side that helped us build a recruiting plan, and now we've got a recruiting team who's working every day to add people to the team.
And how does that work? Like, are you just job boards or like technical schools, or like? And I'm sure
all of the above. Yeah.
Auburn visits, Georgia Tech visits. Like, hey, come on.
Right. Yeah. A lot of Indeed.
Yeah.
And then a lot of just all our guys know other people.
Yeah.
In the trade, and
so you took them all.
Yeah, we're trying to take them all. Yeah, a few at a time. So, growing the team and trying to meet the needs of our customers, and trying to pick up a few customers along the way.
Right.
But also focus on the development piece for our people.
Right. And do you guys have like a whole training program and like ongoing development for your team?
We do. I mean, that's been a focus the past couple of years of refining that and rebuilding that, and figuring out how to best pick those individuals out and give those folks opportunities.
And is it electrical work or engineering work? How much has it evolved with technology, or are you guys still using the basic foundation core?
I mean, a lot of it can be done the same way it's always been done. I was on a project this week, and we're doing the second floor. It's a data center. We're doing the second floor. Somebody else is doing the first floor. And if you go on the first floor,
that's a terrible idea.
Well, it's working. It's working out well. If we walked the second floor first, saw our stuff and our guys, and then walked through the first floor on the way out, and it's just amazing over the past 20 years how we've developed and just continue to find a better way to do things. And when I walk back through the other contractors piece, is like they're doing things the way we were in 2005.
Right.
So it's just incremental little change, and we've really got the team aligned in that. One of our core values is find a better way, and really got the team on board with, how are we going to do this? How can we do this better? And rewarding people. I mean, it can be an apprentice who's been there 2 weeks asking a question, why do we do this? And when the answer is because that's the way we've always done it, there's probably a better way to do it.
Probably. And if somebody has that idea, how do you recognize that and then make it into daily practice? How does that come to you? Does it ever come to you?
Generally, it doesn't come to me, but when it's things like a automated conduit vendor that's a significant cost, and you got to ship here from Italy, it's coming to my desk.
Yeah, right.
But there's little things, and I spent a lot of time in the field and on projects coming up as a project manager, and now it's a lot less. But every time I go to our prefab shop or out on a job site, I'm seeing something new that we're doing. So once we trust our teams to try stuff. We give them a lot of leeway to, if they think they've got a better idea, go try it. And then, if they prove that it works, there's a team focused on that planning piece and the prefab piece that they get together and kind of put it in their best practices and figure out where else we can use it. So,
how much do you think that it helped you from coming from the ground level and going up the charts a little bit in your company rather than an outside hire? For your level?
I mean, I think I came in with 18 years worth of things that I thought we could do differently or wanted to change or felt like I could make an impact on. So, but really the biggest piece is the relationships. The trust level I've got, both ways with the guys on the team where, we've been in the trenches, we've been on the projects, we're working 7 days a week trying to get done. When you're building a baseball stadium and they set the first pitch date before you
can't
put
miss
a shovel
that one.
in the ground.
You can't miss that one.
You're not moving the date. So, we've been in the trenches. We put the work in. We've got that mutual respect and trust of what we're going to do for each other. And obviously the team's grown a lot, but there's a significant number of the leaders through the ranks that I've worked with on that side. So that really helps, especially when we're making changes or making big decisions, and to have that trust through the team and those guys that can tell the guys, look, Miller cares about you.
He was here.
Every one of you, and he's not making this decision for himself or it's for the whole team.
It's for the whole team. I see a lot of people doing it, and some of them work, some of them don't. But when someone like yourself or a company like yours that is so hands-on, for them to hire from outside, from someone from a different industry as a CEO, it throws off the culture so bad. And again, some of them do work, but it is a big risk. And I appreciate someone like in Inglett Stubbs saying, "Let's build from the ground up here," because now I'm sure a lot of your teams and new apprentices or new hires are so motivated that, hey, Miller was here, I could do it too, and the motivation and moving up.
And the guy that retired that I took over from, Kenny, he started out as an apprentice and worked his way all the way through the ranks from that side. So I mean, it gives people a vision of this is a good place to be because I can be anything I want to here.
Right. And what would you, someone that just walks into the door 2 weeks in, they get a chance to meet you or at the field with you, and what would you tell this person? I'm your new hire now. What would you tell me here? That, hey, Miller, I want to be you one day. What's that message like?
Well, I mean, what I generally tell people is the way I got here, I just put my head down and did what I was asked to, and then got done and asked what was next, and was willing to take on a lot and try a lot of things and do things that they trusted me to do that I didn't think I could do. And so it's just, if you keep your head down here and do the work, it's going to show and you're going to get opportunity. We've got countless opportunity, new roles. The technology piece just keeps pushes into new things
very rapidly too.
That didn't exist even 5 years ago.
Right. This whole AI thing, like
we're trying to figure out the AI thing.
Everyone is, right? Like it's all new and it keeps on changing and changing.
Yeah, and it will have a significant impact on our business, and I'm sure. I think it's going to be pretty quick.
Yeah,
we're using it all the time now,
right?
But not in a significant way. But
you're more curious and trying to learn and how to be more efficient.
Yeah.
Being, what would you tell younger children, your son now, that what is the key to success here? Things that maybe you didn't hear when you were a kid.
Yeah, well, I mean, my first thought goes to that there is a lot of opportunity in the trades.
Right.
And I think we did a generation a disservice by saying you got to go to college to be successful in this country. Yeah. I think that's further from the truth than it's ever been.
Anything.
So, somebody who's good with their hands, who likes to work with tools, who doesn't mind getting dirty, thinks all that stuff's fun.
Right.
I mean, I think if I had known more about the trade, I probably would have ended up in the apprenticeship program rather than the engineering route. I would have felt fit in a lot better in that crowd.
Right.
But it's just you can be successful at anything that you enjoy and get good at.
Right.
And I think the biggest thing is just the abundance mentality of if you serve people and solve their problems, there's going to be a opportunity for your way,
right?
And the people who think, oh, I gotta win this job because there's not going to be another one, or I gotta, that mentality just keeps the world so small.
Yeah, if you perform, it will come to you. It's performance,
and if you take care of people, I'm working with people at my level now who I met as project managers, on a job site.
Yeah,
and we both worked our way up, and there's all kinds of folks who were doing one thing or another who now they're customers of ours.
Right.
And so you just treat people right and build the relationships, and things work out pretty well.
How do you, obviously some of the jobs you're doing, deadlines and things matter here. How do you deal with a problem when you do miss a deadline or something goes wrong? How's that conversation like, and then how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously through COVID and all the material issues,
it's something that you can't control.
That kind of changed that whole conversation where it became more expected. But I mean, it all starts with us saying no when we need to and not getting overcommitted. If we're taking on the right projects with the right customers and we're doing the right things to check where we're at and whatnot, then we can add the manpower or the resources or call the suppliers early and get a lot of that stuff worked out. But there's still times when our partners on the manufacturing side miss a date.
Right.
And
what do?
You got to go talk to the customer and
what is the frequency of you conversating with the customer, like on a 3-year project? How often do you guys communicate with their team? How does that work?
I mean, most of the time we're meeting, at least weekly on a big meeting with the general contractor who's meeting with the owner and the architect group every week. It just depends what's going on, how many times we get called into the bigger meeting with the owner and whatnot. But a lot of these projects where we've got long-term relationships, we've got ongoing conversations with the owners anyway. That we're trying to over communicate and keep people up to speed with what's going on and what the challenges are and where the potential risks are and what we can do to.
I tell people all the time, if you have $1 million check for me, you would call me right away, or 2 weeks from now, I'll be happy regardless, right? But if you have bad news, tell me now, because then you have 2 more weeks to fix it now and then solve it.
Right.
And some people shy away from that. I see a lot of GCs and construction, folks that feel like if they just don't tell or don't talk about it, it'll just disappear. It's not going to disappear.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, if we raise the question. They may have another idea or another way we can work together on a solution that works better. And there's a lot of different people on a construction site depending on each other getting their work done to be able to move on. So
it's an orchestra.
Even communicating that stuff early where they can change course or redirect some people or whatnot, it helps overall. So we're trying to keep, stay in tune with what's coming. And but there's always that, something's supposed to ship today and we find out Monday, no, it didn't ship and it's not going to ship for 3 weeks because they couldn't find this part. And then you just got to make the phone call.
And it's one of those things where if you have a deadline of October of 2026, and if you find out now and you're like, you know what, it might be November of 2026, no one's going to care. But if you say it in September of 2026, then it's a problem. Like, just, again, early communication helps. And, to your point, and it's fascinating how you guys do this here. A lot of respect for people in construction and project management, because someone's waiting for you to finish so they could start. Like the crane thing you said earlier. The crane cannot be there until but everything is in such sync. And one little bleep pushes everything else over. And everyone's pointing fingers too. Right? It's someone else's fault all the time. And it's difficult. It really is difficult.
It is, yeah. And our project managers and our general foremen are, in the middle of all of that, trying to coordinate and have those discussions and, figure out how we can help the team, how we can get our work done when somebody else missed something. And
And how are you guys doing the preliminary work? So I call you, Miller, I have a project. I'm building a 20-story building today. How much time do you guys spend on the front work of trying to get that bid done and timing especially?
Yeah, a lot of these projects, we're putting budgets, hospitals and data centers, they're calling us when somebody buys the land or when they first come up with the idea and they've got a napkin sketch or this is what we're going to build. And we're putting budgets on that. And then they hire the engineering architect and they come out with the first round of preliminary drawings. And
it's like, this is not the same thing I looked at here.
Right. And then, we put a budget on that. Yeah. And then, you're constantly explaining what changed and what you miss or what's different. And then, the construction process, you usually have 3 rounds of drawings before you're, putting the shovel in the ground. So there is a lot of work done, often a long time before, these projects before they're even hitting the news, hitting the street.
Right.
There's a hospital expansion announced a few weeks ago, and we've been working on it for about a year on the pricing and planning side. So
and how long from the first phone call till you actually get a contract? How long does that typical for a hospital say?
Yeah, it can be 2 years sometimes, and then you got 2 years plus of construction after that.
So you guys are doing jobs right now for 2027?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We're planning work out that far. I got a phone call, something starting in 2026, and it's like, we can't even look at it. We're booked. So
wow.
And that's not. I would say that's not true across the board. A lot of it's regional, just where we have a lot of concentration of manpower and work coming up, and there are pockets where we can take on more, and
just depends.
Yeah, and then schedule shift too. That's constant in construction. Either they build the next phase or build out another floor, or things get delayed from permitting and whatnot. It's a moving target.
It's always a moving target. And God bless government, right, with permitting, especially if you're dealing with Atlanta. It is always a moving target. And everyone now.
Right.
Even in the rural areas.
Right. Everybody. There's so much going on. Everybody's busy, overwhelmed, and trying to do their best.
Yeah, and I get the safety part of it, all that stuff. But someone's like, dude, just come out. Just come out. Like, I just need you to sign off. I know what I did is right. But I'm sure you guys established a reputation where it's easier on you guys when somebody's coming and checking and inspections. Like, okay, I know it's Inglett Stubbs.
Yeah, again, it's all relationships.
Yeah.
We do find, and I gotta encourage our guys sometimes when they get down, because we do get held to a higher standard.
Yeah, and
from our customers and general contractors and even the inspectors, you're Inglett Stubbs. You should have done this.
Yeah.
That can
like,
be
I'm sorry.
frustrating to our teams. Look, we're here to pursue excellence is another one of our values.
Yeah.
We're going to be the best we can be, and we don't want to look over our shoulders and see what somebody else is doing.
Right.
We want to do our best.
Right.
We're going to have our name on it. We want to be proud of it.
Doesn't matter if it's to a stadium or, some smaller project.
Right.
Do you guys do residential or just commercial?
We don't.
Right.
Since I've been there,
we
did one house. It was like $1 million electrical job. So it's not a typical house.
What was that, Mark Zuckerberg's bunker? So, but you guys don't do like large communities or anything like that. It's
no, we're
more
not in the
large commercial
business,
stuff.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So, a lot of engineering talk here. Tell me your personal life, man. What do you do for fun? How does Miller relax?
Yeah, I don't know if it's relaxing, but I love time with my wife and kids. So whether it's beach trips or other travel, watching my boys play basketball.
That's awesome.
Playing dolls with my daughter.
Yeah.
Riding bikes, all those things. So
those
daughters
are amazing.
They are. Yeah.
I come to the office yesterday. Bill's like, what is that in your arm? What are those? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Look, there's like heart gem stickers all over my back and arm. I guess she put it, but what do you say? She yells at me. She's 2 and she yells at me all the time. She's like, Dad, sit
right.
down. Yeah, play with me now. I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am. Family guy seems like here. So what other hobbies? Any hobbies for you?
Yeah, I mean, I love to play sports, pick up game of basketball, or play with the kids at the pool.
Who's your favorite team?
I mean, the Braves, the Hawks. I'm an Atlanta guy.
Yeah.
My Auburn basketball team was a lot of fun this past year, which was nice.
They did amazing.
We didn't have the football thing going. So,
right.
It's those things. Involved in our church and
That's great.
Spending a lot of time there with those folks.
Are you a big car guy, or from the mechanical side of it?
No, I wouldn't say that on the mechanical side.
Okay,
no, I don't. Yeah, to me that takes too much time to figure out.
You're like, I do that at work, so leave me alone.
Right. Yeah. I enjoy cars. I enjoy seeing them. My boys are always pointing things out,
right?
Asking me why I don't have whatever it is today, and why I'm not going as fast as a Corvette that just passed us and whatnot. So
you need one, man. You need one. What's the coolest place you've been to here recently?
Oh,
travel wise.
I don't know. We had a great trip last summer out to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, that's fun.
Sedona area.
Oh, that's nice.
Just beautiful part of the country that I hadn't experienced before. And
I've never been
out there.
I've never been.
I'd seen the Grand Canyon from the air, but when you're standing there on the edge of it and it's a mile plus across and just incredible.
That's amazing.
So that was a lot of fun and good family time. So
that's awesome. Any plans coming up this year?
We had a good beach trip with all my family. So there was 27 of us in 2 houses.
That's fun.
So trying to figure out some other activities. But just enjoying this time with my kids.
That's fun. That's fun. Yeah, it's amazing. Like I told you, my old one's 15, and it's like, where did the time go? And it's one of those things where you hear it all the time, right? You're like, no, they're gonna grow slow. We got this, and it just really, really goes away. So
I saw a friend yesterday, and he told me his oldest just got his driver's license, and he's like, we just realized we don't have him till he leaves high school. He's got his license, he's got a job, he's never home anymore.
Right.
And he said, I told him when he got home from his job, I hope I taught you everything you need to know because I guess I'm out of time.
No, it's amazing. I'm a sucker for family time, a lot like you. Like I'll go to Colorado for a work meeting and come back home at night. I've been to LA and came back home at night, like caught a red eye because I just want to be home.
There's no place like home.
And I got to get my kids ready in the morning. I just have to see them. And my son is 15. He's got his permit. He was, we took a road trip the other day and he drove, and I'm like, it's just like, to your point, it just goes so fast.
Yeah.
And I'm the most boring human being in the world. No social life, and go home and hang out with the kids, and that's all I do. And it's a blessing. It truly is. Blessing. Like the kids, they make fun of us all the time now because I'm that old dad now, but it's just so cool. It is so cool.
It is.
Well, Miller, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. This has been amazing.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
this
you.
has been great.
I've enjoyed it.
I learned a little bit more about electrical stuff, and next time I'm in the Braves game, I'm gonna look around and look for a problem. I'm gonna text you.
Yeah,
Hey, you
yeah.
know what?
Do
This
that.
isn't working, Miller. Call your
You'll,
electrical.
you'll probably find one. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.